Leeds United were once forced to sell Elland Road for just £10 million after a financial collapse pushed the club to the brink. Years later, the club is back, but the stadium still feels like the problem that never went away. Because Elland Road no longer matches the size of the club inside it, and every season, that gap gets harder to ignore. Over 26,000 supporters are stuck on a waiting list. And the ground that Alex Ferguson once called the most intimidating venue in Europe has not seen a major renovation in over a decade. That is all about to change. Leeds United are now committing over £200 million to add more than 15,000 new seats and rebuild Elland Road into one of the most modern stadiums in English football. But can a club with Leeds United's history actually pull this off? Or is this ambition about to open a whole new chapter of problems? That is exactly what we are here to find out. Elland Road didn't even start as a football ground. Built in 1897, it was first home to a rugby club. And when Leeds United F.C. eventually took it over, they were dissolved in disgrace in 1919 after allegations of illegal payments to players during World War I. That's when Leeds United was born, rising from the ashes of a scandal, and they've called Elland Road home ever since. The club literally bought the stadium for £250. That is where this story begins. Leeds is one of the biggest cities in England, and it only has one major football club. That means the entire city funnels its passion into one team, one ground, one identity. Even with a capacity of nearly 38,000, Elland Road has been sold out regularly for years, not just in the Premier League, but even during Leeds' time in the Championship. The demand never went away, even when the results did, which makes the waiting list almost hard to believe. Over 26,000 supporters are currently on the season ticket waiting list. That is an entire stadium's worth of fans who simply cannot get in. And the financial cost of that is brutal. While Tottenham generate around £100 million a season just from matchday income, Leeds were pulling in just over £20 million. Even in the Championship, Leeds generated £31 million through the turnstiles, more than almost any second division club in history, and still fell massively short of their Premier League rivals. The painful part is that Elland Road was nearly lost completely. In the early 2000s, Leeds were reaching Champions League semi-finals and spending enormous money on players like Rio Ferdinand. But the club gambled on future European income that never came. Debts exploded, Leeds were relegated, and in 2004 they were forced to sell Elland Road for just £10 million to cover around £39 million of debt. It got worse. They dropped all the way into League One, paying rent every season to play in a ground that used to be theirs. For nearly 20 years, Leeds United did not own their own stadium. That changed when the investment group behind the San Francisco 49ers arrived. They first invested in Leeds United F.C. in 2018 and completed a full takeover in 2023 for around £170 million, right after the club was relegated from the Premier League. In 2024, ownership of Elland Road was returned to the club for the first time in nearly 20 years. A highly successful American sports group had taken control of a struggling English stadium and planned to change its future completely. In September 2024, Leeds officially announced plans to expand Elland Road from 37,645 to 53,000 seats. A planning application was submitted, Leeds City Council granted permission, and construction is now set to begin. The last major renovation here was back in 2011. An entire generation of Leeds fans has watched their club fall, fight back, and finally return to where it belongs. And now, for the first time in decades, the stadium is going to reflect the true size of this club. So what exactly are they building? That is where things get really interesting. The architecture firm behind this transformation is BDP, a Leeds-based studio whose director described the project as a responsibility to create a legacy. And when you see what is actually planned, that phrase does not feel like an overstatement. Leeds United's plan is to expand Elland Road from 37,645 seats to approximately 53,000, an increase of over 15,000 that would make it the 7th largest football stadium in England. But this is not a new stadium. Leeds are staying at Elland Road and rebuilding it piece by piece on the same historic ground where the club's greatest era unfolded in the 1970s. The identity stays, the location stays. What changes is almost everything else. The focus is the west and north stands, the two oldest and most outdated parts of the ground. The west stand increases from around 8,000 to 17,750 seats, while the north stand rises from 10,414 to 15,300. But the real change is not just about numbers, it is about fixing the matchday experience. Shallow seating angles, distant sightlines, a feeling of being separated from the game rather than inside it. The new design tackles that directly with steeper multi-tier stands and tighter sightlines that bring supporters physically closer to the pitch, turning Elland Road into a proper enclosed bowl where atmosphere cannot escape, and every seat feels right on top of the action. Completing that effect is an entirely new roof system, a modern cantilever design that stretches further over the crowd, keeps the weather out, and traps sound inside. Roof design has a massive impact on atmosphere, and this one has been specifically engineered with that in mind. A bigger Elland Road is the goal, but a louder one matters just as much. Inside the new stands, the hospitality offering is being rebuilt from scratch. Premium seating tiers, corporate boxes, and upgraded lounges built into the core structure from the ground up. The 49ers already know how modern stadium design generates income well beyond ticket sales, and that philosophy is now being applied directly at Elland Road. The aim is significantly more revenue per fan through better and more varied matchday experiences. Wider concourses, better accessibility, modern facilities throughout, not just in premium areas. Elland Road's last major redevelopment was around 2011, and the gap between this ground and elite Premier League stadiums has grown every year since. Once complete, Elland Road will meet UEFA Category 4 standards, the highest classification in European football, opening the door to major European nights and international fixtures the current ground cannot host. This is a long-term transformation backed by serious money and a very precise vision. But with ambition this large, the risks sitting beneath the surface are every bit as significant as the vision above it. Planning permission was finally approved in January 2026, but the process was far from smooth. Meetings were delayed twice because of concerns over traffic and transport around Elland Road. The project was eventually approved by an 11-to-1 vote, but only with strict conditions, including traffic management plans, new cycle spaces, and road improvements around the stadium. The timeline is ambitious. West Stand construction begins May 2026, targeting completion by late 2028, with the North Stand redevelopment following after that. It means years of construction while football continues at Elland Road. Leeds plan to redevelop the stadium in phases to reduce disruption, but rebuilding a packed stadium while matches continue will still be a huge challenge. There was also a significant controversy around the architects themselves. The original firm appointed was KSS, the same team behind Liverpool's Anfield expansion. But after submitting the full planning application in July 2025, Leeds quietly retendered the design contract and replaced KSS with BDP. That kind of mid-project architect change raised eyebrows in the industry, adding uncertainty to an already complex build at a critical moment. Now the funding, and this is where the numbers get serious. The UK government confirmed at its Regional Investment Summit that Leeds United is planning to invest more than £200 million in the first phase of construction alone. That is an enormous financial commitment, and the 49ers have confirmed that large portions will be funded directly from ownership. They had already committed £10 million just to reach the planning approval stage. But a £200 million build running alongside Premier League survival pressure is a significant financial tightrope to walk. The reason Premier League status matters so much here is borrowing costs. Top flight clubs can borrow money far more easily and at lower costs than championship clubs. If Leeds United F.C. were relegated during construction, the financial pressure of the project would increase significantly. The club insists the redevelopment will continue regardless, but the numbers work far better in the Premier League. The return on that investment is what makes the risk worth it. Leeds United F.C. currently generate around £31 million a year in matchday revenue, one of the highest figures in the championship, but still far behind top Premier League clubs. Expanding Elland Road to 53,000 seats could increase that to around £56 million per year. And according to leaked internal projections, the ownership group believes the club's overall value could rise from around £527 million to £1 billion by 2030. And beneath all of this is the doubt many Leeds United FC fans still carry, because they have heard expansion promises before. For years, different owners talked about redeveloping Elland Road, but nothing ever truly happened. What makes this time different is that planning permission is approved, funding is committed, and early site works have already begun. After decades of setbacks and false starts, this is the moment the project finally starts becoming real. So here is the big question: can Leeds United FC turn Elland Road into one of the best stadiums in English football? Or is this project simply too ambitious? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more football stories.